Hey everyone, and welcome back for another cigar review. And this time I'm doing the Curivari Achilles Eternos. Introduced in 2013, Curivari wanted to come out with a cigar that was stronger than their normalized that they had. And that's how the Achilles came about. This is available in three sizes. This is the Eternos. They also have a Heriocos, which is a 5 1/4 by 50 ring gauge Robusto. This is a 6 1/4 by 52 torpedo. And they also have a Gloriosos, which is a Toro Gordo. If I remember right, it's 5 1/2 by 58 ring gauge. They all retail for less than $10 a stick, and each one has a nice, pretty cool soft box press. Now, all these cigars are made at Tabacalera de Nicaragua for Achilles, and this it's a Nicaraguan puro, just like all the rest of their cigars. But they don't wanted something a little bit more powerful. Now, this still is supposed to have medium to full bodied, but it still has more power than the rest of the lines that they have out. So let's take a look at this cigar right here. Look at that. It has a really nice wrapper on it. Really beautiful, like a chocolate brown color, like a milk chocolate brown. See, it's kind of a, well, if you can really focus in on that, it's kind of a soft pyramid on the top there, but really well rolled. There's the foot of the cigar. See any better? Let's look at show you the band. It's a nice looking band. It's not too ornate, but it actually, kind of a throwback to the old Cuban cigar bands. Really nice. I kind of like that. Real nice looking cigar. Now, I really had been turned on to these cigars by my good buddy Armando Ortiz, the owner of Crescent City Cigars in New Orleans, and he's had Curivari for quite a while, and this is probably, he said, one of the best they've ever put out. So I really had to check this out. So luckily I was able to get some from him, and also from Havana Port in Covington. Louis Molina was able to get me some of those too, because these have really been selling out in my area. I haven't been able to get a hold of these. They come in 10-count boxes like the rest of the Curivaris, but they've basically been flying off the shelf. So I've only been able to get my hands on about 3 or 4 of these sticks. So going by that, they've really been well received. So anyway, let me go ahead and cut this thing. The draw on it's perfect draw. That milkshake draw that I always talk about, I'm getting that with the cigar. The flavors are a little bit light. I'm not getting too much. I'm getting a little bit of earthiness and a little bit of cedar, but that's about it. Not much else going on. So let's go ahead and light this thing up. Right off the bat, I do get that earthiness, and I get that cedar that I got on the cold draw. There's that, that black pepper spice that hit the back of the throat from Nicaraguan tobacco. There's also, there's a little hint of sweetness to it. I don't keep my finger on it. It's like a sweet spice along with that black pepper, because the sweetness comes with that black pepper. Very interesting. Yeah, I really keep putting my finger on it right now. Well, it's starting off quite good. I can see there's a lot of smoke comes off the cigar, and that's the one thing I really, really like about my cigars. I like to produce a lot of smoke on it. Well, inhale a little bit. Yeah, sweetness is it's really interesting. It's almost like a caramel sweetness, but it has a little bit of a spice note to it. It's kind of hard to explain. Really interesting flavor profile in the cigar. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and smoke to the halfway point, and I'll be back to let you know how it is. I'll see you in a second. Everybody, I'm back. About the halfway point. All right, probably a little bit past the halfway point now. The cigar's really got a really nice flavor to it. There's not a whole lot of notes, but the way they mesh together, it's really nice. I get that black pepper on the back of my palate. I also get that caramel sweetness and a lot of cedar also. Now, what's interesting about it is, at first, I was getting a citrus note of probably about right about when the first stir started. And I really couldn't pick it up. I mean, define exactly which citrus it was, but it's got kind of a little bit of a sourness to it. So to me, the first thing that popped in my head was kind of like a grapefruit, like grapefruit juice or something like that. That the citrus flavor, but it's got a little bit of a sourness to it. And that sounds bad, but it's not really. It's not. It gives a nice brightness to the cigar that I haven't really tasted in any other cigar before. It's really an intriguing flavor profile. So far, I'm really, really liking this cigar. A real, very unique cigar. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the cigar off, and I'll let you know how it is. See you in a second. Hey everybody, I'm back. See, I'm right at the end here. It's got a really good flavor profile of the cigar. It's not too overly complicated. It really only has 4 flavors. You get the cedar, you get caramel, that spice, but which is mainly black pepper, and you get a nice citrus note, which I consider is kind of like a grapefruit. They all mesh really well together. Gives it a really unique flavor profile. At the very end, though, that citrus kind of faded away, and the spice faded away probably just after that halfway point. It's not the spice isn't gone; it's still there, but it's a lot more mellow now. Now, the main thing I'm getting now is the cedar and that caramel. Really, really good flavors right at the end. I mean, this, you would think it would get pretty harsh at this point, but actually it's not harsh at all at this point. Really amazing. The flavors are really great, and they last a long time. It's really got a long finish on the palate. It smoked really well. There was no touch-ups on the cigar whatsoever. I had a couple of relights, but that was really for me just waiting too long between puffs when I was kind of goofing off on the computer on my iPad and stuff like that whenever I was smoking this. But just really a really top-notch smoke. Now, I didn't mention before, but this only retails for about $9.50 depending on your taxes and whatnot. It's well worth that. It's definitely worth that. Actually, none of the Vitolas are over $10. I believe they're all about 9 to 9.50, or yeah, something like that, around 8.50 to 9.50, depending on where you're at. So, really great cigar. And I read somewhere, I can't remember where it was at though. I was reading it, but this is only going to be released 4 times a year. So you'll probably see them hit your store or see them online. They'll sell out. Then in a few months, next quarter, they'll come back in again, sell out. So when you do come across them, grab them when you can. 10 count box is pretty cheap. So, and that's what I love about 10 count boxes. I actually wish more manufacturers would use 10 count boxes, because you can actually get more bang for your buck, and you don't have to shell out, for a 20 or 25 count box. It could be like 200 something bucks or more, even on some cigars. A 10 count box is more approachable to a lot of people. That way you can have some on hand when you want to get some more. So, really outstanding smoke. Highly recommended. It's probably my favorite Curivari as of right now. I still really like the Brown Label Cafe. To me, that has got an amazing flavor profile. But this one is just it's very unique. That citrus flavor that I got out there, with that little bit of sourness to it, it really made the cigar. Actually, it's hard to it doesn't sound right, that sourness, but with the sweetness and that from the caramel flavor I was getting and the spice, it really made it such a really well-rounded cigar. It just unique flavor. It was something I really enjoyed. So I definitely want to pick up a box of these and stash them away. So if you see these, give them a try because I think you'll really enjoy them. So on that note, I'll see you next time.